This building here is our School of Pharmacy and Pharmaceutical Sciences building. It'll have about 25 faculty, about 360 doctor of pharmacy students, maybe about 50 or so PhD students. It'll be a very active space because the students will spend almost their entire day here every day. It's got common space on the first floor with classrooms. The second floor is administrative offices and some laboratories. Third floor, more laboratories, and the fourth floor also more laboratories for research. It's about 80,000 square feet, about net 60,000, 50,000 square feet on the inside. Very tall ceilings. I think it's going to be a beautiful addition here. So our hope is that this will be done in about 16 months, 17 months, fall of 2018. We'll have our classrooms ready to go and our laboratories ready to go. We've got about a third of the faculty hired already. They're on the main campus right now. Some of them are at the ITC campus doing their research, getting their grants up and running. But they're looking forward to being over here in their permanent home.
And when will this actually open for classes, labs, etc.?
So we anticipate the fall of 2018 will be the first semester that we'll be in here, which means the summer of 2018 we'll be filling it with furniture, laboratory equipment. And so the first class of students in the pharmacy school actually start this fall of 2017. They'll take all their classes on the Vestal campus, and then the second year class that starts in the fall of 2018, as well as the first year class, will be over here starting in 2018. That each class is about 90 students, so that means we'll have to be up to 180 when we're over here. It's a 4-year program, so eventually we'll have 360 students in the Doctor of Pharmacy program here. And then there's a PhD program as well in pharmaceutical sciences, probably have about 50 students in that.
And then we're going to have nursing.
And then across the street we will have nursing. Actually, this space right behind me is a space that we're holding right now. It's more of a green space, but we're holding it for advanced R&D facilities. If we could get some more funding from either the state or from a private industry. But this is my favorite building here, the old shoebox factory, built in the early 1900s, 6 stories tall, about 90,000 square feet, 15,000 square feet on each floor. Each floor is just a flat, wide open floor plate.
So it's gutted on the inside.
It was essentially gutted, built gutted. It never really had walls on the inside.
Assembly. It
was just a big factory assembly where the workers would pass the box from one station to the next and exit out the other back end. There are some old photographs of this where there was actually a walkway that went from this building across to a building that was here. And then our goal is to continue to move down this street. So nursing will be in here, as well as their programs that they're going to add in occupational therapy and speech therapy. And then the next properties are owned, or were owned, by one of our alumni, and he's donating those properties to us so that we can have another 4 acres here. This was actually, I don't know the name of the company. It was a manufacturing facility. The building on the other side of this is the Oslid building.
Okay. And if we stop here, I was talking about Willow Street, which is right behind us. And again, you see with the nursing here, there's a straight shot to the downtown of JC, and where some of those vacant, what are now vacant properties, will become redeveloped.
They have to. I mean, we're going to, with 1,000 students on here, and faculty, they're going to want to live here.
And with a block away, a walk away from
Main Street, with all the coffee shops and restaurants and retail. This building down here, the gray building, Jennison Avenue building, we purchased this about a year ago. It was a doctor's office, and we're going to use it for the School of Nursing's geriatric clinic. We have a great expertise in working with elderly folks, trying to help improve their health and their longevity, quality of life. And our nursing school got a donation from a local foundation in order to purchase this building, renovate it, and start a program in there. And then this is the building that our alum has donated to us.
Nice.
Probably going to be torn down. Not much value in it, mostly concrete and brick. Clean site though. We have done the environmental inspections in the back. There's nothing to be found that's contaminating the soil.
4244 Corliss.
4244 Corliss. And then the final goal is the property down there, that curved yellow
Yes.
building. It's an old factory or company called Oslid.
That's the Osland.
And we have an option to the current owner for that property. Again, a property that someone owns but hasn't paid taxes for a couple of years, and so the county is helping us negotiate with the owner to see if they'd like to exit from that obligation that they have.
I think most recently some of that was used as a recycling activity.
Really?
Too. Yeah, I'm pretty
Really?
sure. Yeah.
You know, you just never know the histories of some of these
that's
things
true.
and how long they've. And this probably will be designated a historic structure. It's a fairly unique
Oh, yes.
structure, and so we may not be able to take it down. But the exterior doesn't look like it's in that bad of shape.
No.
And so when we add this property to this, to Jennison, to the box factory, to the pharmacy school, it's about 16 acres right along this street.
Lots of room for redevelopment.
Great assemblage. And you know, the hope for these properties is that we could find industrial partners that want to work with our pharmacy school or our nursing school that would co-locate here.
Beautiful. What about these single-family homes that are being rentals?
This block between here and the next street to my right we're trying to assemble these. I know that this house and the house at the other end of this street or the other part of Corliss here are both in back taxes.
Okay.
And the county is offering those properties to us. We'll probably purchase them. They'll probably have to be torn down because there's not much value left in them. And this will give us a park setting across the street from the pharmacy school.
Nice.
And then these houses along here, some are occupied, some are okay, but some of them need some work. Some of our students live over here right now and commute to campus. But we would want to make sure that when we're purchasing these properties that the people that are living there have an appropriate place that they can go while we're renovating them or preparing them for the next occupant. And some of our alumni are also developing these properties. I've met a few of our younger alumni who are purchasing properties in Johnson City, and they want to return them to rental properties so that the local people who already live here can live here.
That's a great idea because so many times people get displaced and we lose track of
Correct.
it. And so that's a good policy.
Correct, exactly. And the hospital, of course, is across the street, and we think that will be a good added
Yeah, here's where you really start
neighbor.
getting into the hospital's role here, because not only the parking garage, but on the opposite side here we have the OBGYN
correct, right,
operation. So,
which I think is Dr. Bailey's office.
Yes.
One of our good friends.
Yes. Okay, so we're walking toward Main Street, and we'll see what we can talk about there, Brendan.
Right.
Okay, so here we are on the intersection of Main Street and Broad Street, where we have a couple of properties that the president wants to talk about.
And it's hard to imagine, but these two properties on the corner behind me are owned by Fortress Development, a development company that's started by a couple of our alums from the class of 2014. They've purchased about a dozen properties in Johnson City so far. These are two of them. And the upstairs, you can see those beautiful arched windows. They're going to be apartments, and on the first floor retail. And the same thing over here. Apartments on the second and third floor and retail on the first floor. And actually the alum has told me that the first floor has already got a restaurant that is being planned for it, and they found an owner that wants to open the restaurant there. So, you know, with just a few restaurants in Johnson City, I think the first come that get here will grab the market from the pharmacy students and the nursing students, which at lunchtime and dinner, they're going to want to come up here and have
just a comment. The nice thing is we're only a couple of blocks away. Broad Street, Willow Street come as a straight line right into this area of town. And the other thing we're going to look at together later today is the number of vacancies east of here, which are prime for redevelopment.
I think it's probably about 2.5 miles from here to downtown Binghamton, or 3 miles.
Right, 2.5, 3 miles, yeah.
And a very active street. And we have the Department of Transportation right now doing a study of the timing of the lights, the width of the street, the parking access on the street, the lighting, so that this corridor can be brought back to life as well.
Yes, and we'll be talking and looking later at the parking areas behind these buildings off of Main Street too, which provide opportunities.
And we hope places like the Red Robin Diner stay.
Yeah,
exactly. These iconic places that have been here for decades. Our hope is that restaurants and places like the Red Robin Diner will stay here, as a lot of people recognize this is the restaurant that was in the movie The Rewrite, where Hugh Grant was on his way to Binghamton University to become an adjunct professor, and they filmed a scene driving by the Red Robin. I think it was a funny movie, and hopefully people will remember it for a long time.
And this underscores the idea that there are places that are part of the historical fabric of Johnson City that we want to maintain.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hi, Harvey Stenger.
John Bowie, how are you?
Hi, John.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, John. John Frazier.
Nice to meet you.
How's it going?
Hanging in there.
Hanging in there. They'll be here soon.
All I can do.
They'll be here soon.
We were just hyping your place and how it needs to be kept.
Yeah, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I've had it 10 years now. It's a rough
Wow.
neighborhood.
It is a rough neighborhood. It's going to change, though.
It's going to
I hope
change.
so.
Oh, well.
I really do.
Hang in there.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Please, please.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Good. What are you guys
Hi,
on
Harvey
up to
Stenger.
here? Hi. Hi there. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, we're just doing some
He
filming
works for social
Oh, yeah?
services, and I've had interns with him, and he's got him
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah,
So,
I have one of your interns, and I'm also a student too. Let's not forget.
That's right.
You know, so that's. Are you?
Look, a new coffee shop
Yeah,
across the
how
street.
about
Some
that?
signs going
Are
up.
you coming up with some good ideas for Johnson
We got
City?
all kinds of good ones going on.
We're,
so
we're,
good.
we're
really
talking about the ones that
delighted.
are already, we know are in process, and
Uh-huh.
we're trying to capture as much as we can on film so that we can document it
Right.
over the next
and then
decade.
we have a historical record of what was here, how it's changed, and we're covering everything from crime to rents to the reinvestment by the private sector.
Sure, sure. Well,
leveraged
well,
by
I guess
public.
that you hope that there'll be something coming from this new pharmaceutical
We really believe there will be.
college, and
There'll be over 1,000 students going here every day in about 2 years from now.
1,000 students.
1,000
So-
students.
So that's bound
Look out,
to
restaurants.
change the neighborhood.
That's right, lookout restaurants and coffee
Well,
shops.
you'll have to be sure to go to the Red Robin.
Oh,
'cause
we
it-
were just talking to him. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
met the owner, yeah.
I'm actually heading on in here to do a little work. You take care.
yeah,
Okay?
all right.
John, and, nice meeting you, Fred.
That is great.
Yeah, that's super.
Two-
And right down the street from Main Street, and right on the. This is what I was talking about, though. These direct walking distance.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's
Very
it's
quick.
amazing.
Very quick. In 5 minutes, you're from the pharmacy school to
Exactly.
the Red Robin.
And if you go one more over to Willow, I think it's Willow is
Willow,
the next.
yep.
You're going to get a similar thing because it's a straight shot.
Yep.
And once you get those properties redeveloped that I was talking about, the vacancies,
Yes, yes.
it's going to become a magnet.
And we hope the Goodwill Theater can actually be
Yes.
brought back eventually for
That'd be great.
conferences, performances. I mean, I've told NYMA that we could be holding large lectures in there if we
great.
have conferences that come
Well,
in.
that's just it. The engagement of the university beyond
Yep.
students and going to classes, the engagement of the university in the future is going to be very important.
And maybe somebody would build a hotel and with
Conference
conference
center.
facilities, right? So that we
Yes.
could have conferences around pharmacy. I do think that the long-term goal is to get some industrial partners that could
Yes.
occupy some
And
of the
more
space
jobs.
down here, and more jobs, right? Not just academic jobs,
That's
but
right.
jobs that are manufacturing pharmaceuticals, biotechnical devices.
And the other thing that's happening, or should happen, I hope would happen, is that you're going to get a range of jobs. I mean, having the new apartments
Yep.
and a restaurant
Right.
and the other things that are happening in the private sector are sort of the lower end jobs, but if you bring in the higher end and the lower end, you're meeting the demand
Yep.
for employment.
And then there's enough housing around here that people could actually live in it. That is the Goodwill Theater. That is an 800-seat theater that Johnson built for his employees. He had movies in there, had live entertainment in there. It's been purchased by NYMA Cragen, and NYMA has been working on a renovation project for several years, hopefully to restore it to its original condition of a performing arts center.
16 acres.
16 acres. If we can assemble all of this and just move one at a time down the street, this is the fruition of a really big idea.